Greetings, everyone. I'm a couple minutes early, so I'm just going to pointless jibber jabber while I'm setting up here, while I'm waiting for the actual 12 o'clock to roll around. I hope we're all doing well. In fact, I should have started earlier and been eating on my lunch because I got several things to talk about in this video. So, club sandwich, by the way. You don't have to be in a club to have a club sandwich. That's just what they call it, and I'm not sure why. I need to look that up. Why do they call it a club sandwich? Let's see, it's still 11:58, so we're going to just pointless nothingness here until 12 o'clock, because I don't want to repeat myself. So if you're watching this on a replay, the first 2.5 minutes are going to be pretty boring. So, just to warn you. Incidentally, this is Dave's Killer Bread, the 12 grain, I think it is, variety. And Dave does indeed make some killer bread, just so you know. It is 11:59, according to the clock on my computer. Okay. I predicted that just about right. The first 2.5 minutes I said was going to be pointless junk. But hello, everyone. Welcome once again to a Lunchtime with Tom summer special. And I've kind of felt like about once a month is kind of the sweet spot for doing these Lunchtime with Toms. Yeah, when I started out doing it every week was a little too much. I just didn't have enough to talk about in those things. Not that I was ever really good at planning out what I was going to talk about, but anyway, once a month seems pretty good. I might just do that a once a month live stream from here on out. Don't quote me on that. Don't hold me to that. This just kind of depends on what's happening. But honestly, I'm kind of feeling like, and granted, this is still 3 months away, 4 months away. I'm kind of feeling that with the first of the year, January 2022, there's going to be a bit of a paradigm shift in my channel. I don't know. I don't know what the nature of that will be. My backtracks is going to be, my bargain bag is going to be ending this year, and I haven't had A to Z going on in a while, so I'm going to have few, if any, monthly regular videos aside from my playlist. And plus, I really want to get my other channel started, my geek stuff channel going. I've been wanting to do that for over a year. So one way I'll be able to more assuredly be able to do that is if I ramp down video frequency on this channel. So I'm not going anywhere, not if I have anything to say about it. So this channel will still be active. But yeah, maybe just 2 videos a month starting in January. I don't know. As I said, it's still 4 months away, so who knows what's going to happen. And I'm thinking about, I'm going to experiment with a couple little ways of doing videos in the next few weeks or so. I've got a couple very quick topics I don't have a lot to say about, so I'm thinking of doing quick little things with my phone and just stringing those together into a digest kind of a video once a month or whatever. So we'll see. I'm just kind of spitballing in my own head right now. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, that's just kind of basic channel stuff. One thing I wanted to talk, or actually two things I wanted to talk about in today's live stream were kind of extensions on my vacation wrap-up sort of thing. Yes, you've already seen 2 full videos plus a collaboration video where I talked about my vacation, but 2 things that, well, one that I just totally forgot to talk about in my channel, and another one that I did have in my crawl and haul video, but that ended up making the video too long, so I decided to just chop that part out and bring it to you in this live stream. So I'll be recreating it in this live stream. But yeah, the first thing I wanted to talk about with my vacation was the places that I ate. Some people like to hear that. Sometimes I talk about my gastronomical adventures in my vacation wrap-ups, but sometimes I don't. And I didn't even think about doing it until after I'd done my 2 vacation wrap-up videos. But yeah, some of the things that we did for lunch and dinner. For breakfast, what I usually do on my vacation is every morning I have a yogurt and a banana. Just kind of very, relatively nutritious, because sometimes on my vacations, especially up in Portland, I just kind of do whatever I want for lunch and dinner. And so having a sensible breakfast is my way of kind of counterbalancing that. So yeah, that's what I did for breakfast. We just, had stuff at the house for breakfast. And pretty much every day at dinner, in the evening, we just ate at home. Noah and Alyssa cooked most of the time, and once or twice we had like a frozen pizza, just threw it in the oven and did that. But Noah and Alyssa are actually very good cooks. One time we had a risotto with mushrooms and stuff, and then that was really good. And then we also had spinach, little pasta stuffed with spinach, rotini. I can't remember what the pasta was, but had some of that, and that was really good. And they had stir-fried broccoli in with that, I think it was, and that was good. And what did we also have? I knew there's something else. We had 3 or 4 dinners. Noah and Alyssa are vegetarians, and so and I was perfectly happy to. I am not vegetarian habitually myself, but I was perfectly happy to join in on that and take part of that since I was a guest in their home. I felt it was the least I could do to give a vegetarian meal a try. Hey, Edgar, how's it going? Southern California. Hope you guys are doing okay with the wildfires down there. We're actually where I am here in Oregon. I'm doing okay with the wildfires. They're about 10 or 12 miles away from us, but not as close as they were last summer. So, and we're not getting a whole lot of smoke, thank goodness. So anyway, back to lunches and dinners. So yeah, pretty much every night I ate vegetarian because that's what Noah and Alyssa have. And about half the lunches that I ate were vegetarian. I decided to give it a try. So I guess you'd say, 2/3 of the food that I had while I was there was vegetarian. So, and I can't say, if I had to go vegetarian for dietary reasons or health reasons, I would, because I like plenty of vegetables and I like pastas and stuff. So I could live without meat if I had to. So, but anyway, with regard to this lunch places that we went to when I was there, the first full day that I was there in Dallas, we went to a place called Chap's Burgers, and that was in the Dallas area, and that was pretty good. It took me a while to dig up the name of the place. I couldn't remember what it was, and so I actually had to go down to process of elimination with burger places that were near Baskin-Robbins, because there was a Baskin-Robbins just kitty corner in that shopping center from where we were. So with a little internet detective work, I was able to figure that out. Anyway, Chap's Burgers, it was pretty good, and I actually did have a veggie patty when I was there on my burger instead of a actual real patty, and that was pretty good. Their fries were very good, I thought. So if you have a Chap's Burgers, give them a try. They're pretty good. And let's see, what did we do? We actually, when I was there, we had Mexican in some way or another 3 times when I was there for lunch. And I haven't had that much Mexican in probably the last 2 years. I'm not a huge fan of Mexican food. It's not my favorite genre, but I kind of have to be in the mood to have it. But honestly, I did not mind it at all. Noah and Alyssa warned me before I was there that that's one of the predominant genres, I'm thinking music, varieties of food. Restaurants there are Mexican, and probably the other one is steakhouses, or just meat and potatoes places. Being in the Oklahoma and Texas, they like their meat down there. So yeah, those two places were basically the predominant things. They tend to have a bit of a time looking for places to eat since they are vegetarian. The place has to have veggie options and stuff. So, but anyway, we went to Taco Bueno, which is a fast food chain, kind of like a Taco Bell in their area, and that was pretty good. Had a bean burrito, basic stuff, and it's not bad, I gotta say. And then we also, for one day for lunch, there was a Mexican food truck near where Alyssa works. We decided to meet Alyssa for lunch that one day, and so we did that. And I actually did break my vegetarian commitment, I guess you'd say, and had a burrito with chicken in it, grilled chicken. And that burrito was huge. I mean, I'm kind of surprised that I finished it. It was that big. So, but that was really, really good, gotta say. And then another time we went to lunch at a Mexican restaurant in Bartlesville called Senor Salsa. And that was pretty good, I've got to say. And I had the spinach enchiladas there, and those were good. That was probably the best Mexican meal I had there. Actually, that chicken burrito that gives it a run for its money, I got to say. But anyway, yeah, the spinach enchiladas were really, really good at Senor Salsa. So those were good. Yeah, that was my Mexican menu for my trip. And twice while I was there, we ate at a little, it's kind of a chain in that area called McAllister's. It reminds me a lot of Panera. I think Panera is all over the country, coast to coast. And McAllister's markets themselves as a deli. But yeah, sandwiches, soups, that kind of thing. And actually, both times I was there, I had the McAllister's Club, which was really, really good. That was a great club sandwich. And yes, again, breaking the vegetarian thing. And an interesting thing, let me take a bite of my sandwich because I do have to eat during lunchtime with Tom. So one moment, please. So yeah, the McAllister's Club, it actually comes with honey mustard dressing on it. And I didn't ask them to hold it. And I had never tried honey mustard dressing before. Why, I don't know. I'm not a fan of mustard. Usually when it comes on something, I ask them to leave it off. But if it comes with mustard on it, I don't mind. And of course, who doesn't love honey, right? Well, I love honey. Anyway, but yeah, I got to say, I kind of liked honey mustard dressing. Hi, Anna. How you doing? Glad you could stop by even quickly. So yeah, that was McAllister's. It was really good. And one time when I had the club, I had a side of tomato and cucumber salad. It's a cold salad. It's really good. And also, then the other time I had a side of steamed broccoli. So trying to stay somewhat nutritious there. And so yeah, both of those lunches at McAllister's, I have to say, were pretty darn good. And oh gosh, that pretty much just about covers the list. One time for dessert, this was on our way from Dallas back to Oklahoma City, if I remember correctly. We stopped at Arbuckle Mountain Fried Pies, and they seem to love that place. And I'd never had a fried pie before, at least not like that. That was good, I've got to say. I had the chocolate variety, in case you were curious. But yeah, those were pretty good. They were kind of big. But I did finish mine. I mean, usually when it's basically a fried pastry with a chocolate filling. It's basically what it is. When it's something like that, especially when it has chocolate in it, I'm probably going to finish it no matter how hungry or not hungry I am. That's kind of how much I love chocolate. But anyway, so yeah, that kind of that took about 10 minutes. My gastronomical adventures when I was there in Oklahoma and Texas. I have to say, had just as much fun eating as I did doing everything else. So, yeah, lots of fun there. And, excuse me, I got a message on my Oh, it looks like it might be spam. Anyway, a Facebook Messenger thing that looks like spam. But anyway, one of my friends got hacked on Facebook. Darn. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about in my actually, let me take a break here and take a couple more bites of my sandwich. I don't want to exhaust all my topics before I'm halfway done with my lunchtime with Tom. Now, do I? Hang on. You can get a good look at my shoulder while I'm eating. Excuse me. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about was, as I mentioned at the beginning, it was part of my crawl and haul video, but the video got so darn long. Excuse me. That video got so darn long that I had just decided to chop that section out, and even chopping that out, it was still 45 minutes long. So I hope you didn't get too bored watching that video. I don't mind long videos, and the beauty with YouTube is you can stop watching something and come back to it later on, and YouTube remembers where you were, most of the time anyway. So hopefully you guys watched the whole thing and you enjoyed it. I still can't get over the kitty that was there at Guest Room Records. She was so pretty, wasn't she? Look at the footage if you didn't see that. Lil Kim was the name of the cat at Guest Room Records in Oklahoma City. She was pretty, friendly, and nice, and all that stuff. I could talk about cats for years. But anyway, yes, to get back to my crawl and haul, the deleted scene from my crawl and haul. As you might have seen there, Noah had a box full of records and CDs that he was going to take along with us on our Tulsa Crawl Day to try and sell to the local stores. Well, he invited me to go through that box first and pick out anything that I wanted to take. So, Noah, you are just so generous and wonderful. Thank you so much. And so, yes, that was what I was going to show you in the video, and actually did show you. I did film that, but had to cut it out for length. So I thought I would show that stuff to you guys in this video here. First of all, Better Than Ezra, their album Friction Baby. The funny thing about this was I actually brought him my Better Than Ezra Greatest Hits CD because one of my objectives was going to be to fill the gaps in my Better Than Ezra discography. And he, since I gave him that CD, he decided to give this one up. And so that kind of, totally unbeknownst to him, that served a purpose for me in helping to complete my discography because I didn't have the CD of theirs yet. So serendipity, I guess you'd say. So thank you, Noah. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying their Greatest Hits CD that I left you. And then another one here, Rod Stewart Unplugged. I've got several of the MTV Unplugged albums so far, and so decided to go ahead and partake of the Rod Stewart volume. And this is kind of funny because you probably don't remember this, but at some point in the Crawl and Haul video, I said, and you heard me mention Rod Stewart earlier. Well, you actually didn't, because in the version of the video you watched, my previous mention of Rod Stewart was this one, which I'd cut out. So yeah, minor little trivia note for that video. Anyway, so yeah, I'll have fun listening to that one. I haven't listened to the Rod Stewart or Demi Lovato yet. Yes, this is her album, Don't Forget. Yes, I mentioned to Noah and another friend that I have listened to some of Demi Lovato's recent stuff, and I rather liked it. And so that's one thing that Noah actually had this on his Discogs inventory, and he decided to let me have it since I had mentioned Demi Lovato recently. So look forward to hearing this one. This is one of their earliest, I think their first album, at least post-Disney. So yeah, I'll be interested I'm expecting it to be a little more pop-sounding than Demi's recent stuff, but it'll be interesting to hear. And then, yes, those were just the 3 CDs that I got, and then a whole bunch of records. Excuse me. Juice Newton, her self-titled album. And the funny thing about this one is House of Records had gotten this one in their used new arrivals at least twice in like the last 4 months or 5 months. And each time I thought about picking it up, but didn't. There's a reason I didn't. It was waiting for me in Noah's cast-offs bin. Then we have Usha Yer, I think that's how you pronounce it. I believe she is Indian, from India. And yes, an album of a bunch of standards. You got Fever, the Peggy Lee song. Is that who did it? And then I Left My Heart in San Francisco. Big Spender. No, Big Spender is Peggy Lee. I can't remember who did Fever. And a rendition of California Dreaming by the Mamas and the Papas. So the track listing intrigued me on this one. So, and I had never heard of Usha Iyer before. So figured I'd go ahead and give her a try. And as with the CDs, I have not listened to any of these yet. I did listen to the Better Than Ezra one already, but yeah, it's, as I said at the end of my Crawl and Haul video, it's going to take me a while to get through all this stuff. And then we have Olivia Newton-John with her album Physical. It's a little worse for wear. I semi-successfully patched up the two big tears in here by taping them from the inside. So, but the record looks pretty good. So, and yes, pretty much everybody knows the title track, the big hit from the 80s, one of her biggest hits, Physical. And so, yeah, I wanted to hear the rest of the songs. So I was happy to take that one. And yeah, with the damage on it, I seriously doubt any store was going to be able to take that one anyway. So, and then a compilation by Slade called Sladist. And this one is pretty worse for wear, but I thought I'd go ahead and take it. And this was after, I didn't take this one at first. This was after Noah had been to all the stores and they didn't want to take, this was left from all the stuff that none of the stores wanted to take. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I decided to take this one off his hands. So yeah, I'll be looking forward to listening to that one, obviously. And then you maybe sort of had to know this one was coming. Actually, maybe not. Billy Joel, An Innocent Man. Noah is a huge Billy Joel fan, so I would assume this was an extra copy that he had. I wouldn't imagine that he would give up his only copy of a Billy Joel LP. So yes, one of my favorite, I believe in our collab video a couple of years ago, I think I may have stated this one as my favorite Billy Joel album. So great to have it on LP. I've got it on CD, but have never owned it on LP before. So Noah, thank you. As I'm thanking you for all these. And then two 12-inch singles featuring two of my favorite songs of all time. How can you knock that? Leave It by Yes. That is a fantastic song. My favorite Yes song out of their entire discography. And this is, let's see, the Hello Goodbye mix, the remix, and the a cappella version are on here. So, yes, I just absolutely love that song. And then, not necessarily my favorite song by this group, but I am happy to have a 12-inch single by Duran Duran. Yes, me, the 80s kid, Duran Duran. Gotta love them. And this is their song, The Reflex. It is, I believe, the dance mix, and then I'm not sure what's on the other side. Oh, yeah, the dance mix. It says on the front and also on the back. I would assume it has the album version also, but yes. Mainly just for those two records. Noah, thank you. I love you. So yes, it was wonderful. So yeah, that was, excuse me. I dropped my napkin on the floor. So yeah, that was a fairly big portion. That was like 2/3 of the records that I shipped home were the ones that Noah gave me. So he is just the most generous, amazing guy in the world. Great friend. I've gushed about him in my videos before. So yes, a wonderful guy. And just this little haul of records proves that. So again, thank you so much, Noah. And so yeah, that was the other portion of the main stuff that I wanted to talk about in this video with my vacation related stuff. So let's see, going back to the comments, let's catch up on the comments. Oh, you have An Innocent Man on cassette. Yeah, all I need is the cassette version of that, and then I'll have the trifecta of that album on all three formats. So how you doing, Kian? Good to have you here. And oh, Anna, you haven't listened to An Innocent Man yet? Oh, you've got to. Yes, especially if you love 50s and 60s inspired doo-wop and Motown kind of stuff. That album draws lots of inspiration from those genres. So yeah, great album. So yeah, excuse me while I take another bite of my sandwich. So what does everybody else, anybody else have anything on their mind they'd like to ask me? Go for it. a couple of good albums I have listened to lately. Oh, Colin Haye, who was, you might know him as the frontman from Men at Work back in the 80s. Ever since Men at Work broke up, he has been recording steadily over the years, and he just put out a new album of cover songs. Songs by The Kinks, and of course I am drawing a complete blank now that I'm live on camera. I'm drawing a complete blank on all the artists that he covers in this album. Lennon and McCartney. I think he does 2 Lennon and McCartney songs in there. But yes, a fantastic album of covers. I had no doubt that he was going to handle those covers amazingly. Wonderful album. It's called I Just Don't Know What to Do With Myself. Check it out. And check out his previous albums too. They're great. And this is actually, I believe, his first covers album. So in all the years that he's been recording, this has got to be his 14th or 15th album, solo album, aside from the Men at Work stuff. So yes, wonderful, wonderful artist and wonderful album. And also Jake Bugg, his latest album, Saturday Night, Sunday Morning. Yes, the second album that I've gotten in the past month with the phrase Saturday night in it. That is a fantastic album. Oh my God. That one really caught me by surprise. I was not expecting it to be so good. But yes, Jake Bugg throws in everything from rockabilly to Britpop to, what was the other thing? Darn, there was another genre. Kind of Brill Building or Motown kind of stuff. Just kind of throws all that stuff in there, and it's just a great, great album. Check it out. Yeah, Saturday Night, Sunday Morning by Jake Bugg. Another fine UK import that not a whole lot of people in the US know about. I guess he is one of the better known US British exports to the US. Maybe not in the grand scheme of things. He's kind of, I don't think his albums have ever got very much attention. Actually, let me look and see if Wikipedia has the US chart positions of his albums. I'm very curious now. Jake Bugg discography. That's kind of a weird Irish accent, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, only his first 2 albums charted, and the highest charting one was at number 46. That is a crime as far as I'm concerned. Jake Bugg is such a good artist. And yeah, and by contrast, in the UK, all 4 of his first albums charted in the top 10 of the UK albums chart. So huge injustice. Yes, another favorite band of yours. You've got Good Taste, Kean. Sorry, I know a Keegan also, so it's a little confusing there. Anthrax. I have had a lot of trouble getting into metal. I don't enjoy a lot of metal, and I'm not sure why. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just the loudness. I don't know. I mean, I like, Bon Jovi is not really considered metal. They're much more hard rock than metal. My brother is a huge Metallica fan, and so I've got a couple of Metallica albums, mainly just because of him, because of having listened to him enough. I have a 2-disc greatest hits compilation of Van Halen. That is about as close as I get to metal. I don't know why. Yeah, metal and hip hop are probably my 2 least listened to genres, and the 2 least represented genres in my music collection. So maybe at some point in the future I'll get into metal, because I've gotten into stuff the last few years that I never thought I would. Never thought before then that I would have. So yeah, so much new music has come out lately that I've been toying with the idea. I probably won't, but I've been toying with the idea of doing 2, doing my Spankin' Platters videos instead of quarterly, doing it every 2 months rather than every 3 months, because there's been so much new music coming out the last couple of months. So, but that would require me to do it this weekend, and I'm not going to have the time to do it this weekend. So I will probably just stick with my quarterly schedule on that for now. I might have to either leave out some albums from the summer edition or move some of the summer releases to the fall edition of Spankin' Platters. So we'll see how that turns out. So, and I'm kind of thinking my fall edition of Spankin' Platters will be sort of a catch-up, since I'll have to do it early because I don't want to do it at the end of December, because that's going to be right in the middle of list season. So I'll probably do my fall Spankin' Platters at the end of November, just to, you know. And as I said, it'll probably just catch up on some of the releases that I didn't mention in the previous Spankin' Platters that year. So. And yet I've been thinking about ways in which I could bring Bargain Bag back to life for next year. But the more I think about it, I think I kind of need to give it a rest. Just because, you know, you think about it, when I do Bargain Bag, every month I have to listen to another 14 CDs. That can get a little tedious, as you can probably imagine. So I think I'm just going to listen to my conscience, my instinct, and put Bargain Bag, at least for now, on the shelf. So yes, a presumed retirement in the December edition, but it could possibly return. We'll see. I've been thinking about saving up the proceeds from my next handful of Discog sales so that I could buy one of those big 200 CD lots that I see on eBay. But excuse me, as more I think about it, I think I'm just going to suspend Bargain Bag for the time being as I spit food out of my face. Oh, you have used CDs for about 10 cents? Goodness. Well, there's actually an interesting note, again, regarding my vacation. I keep bringing my vacation up. One of the thrift stores that Noah was trying to take me to was in Bartlesville, and it's one of his favorites, and they sell used CDs there apparently for 25 cents each. So that was the main reason he wanted to take me there, but it was closed until further notice when we pulled up to the door. So we were not able to do that. So gosh, yeah, 10 cents a piece. That's I'm sure somewhere around here in the States they're probably that inexpensive. Not just garage sales, but, you know, thrift stores or charity shops and that kind of thing. So as I said, one of these days maybe I'll bring back Bargain Bag, or maybe just a variation on it. I'm thinking about bringing back a variation of Backtracks for this coming year. I gave myself way too much work and just kept doing it just because it was the way I'd always done it, you know, which honestly is one of the stupidest reasons to keep doing what you're doing, is just because the way it's always been done. But yeah, I would, for those of you who joined my channel since I retired Backtracks at last December, I would do album anniversaries for every 5 years, you know, the albums that are celebrating their 5th, 10th, 15th, etc. anniversaries, all the way back to, I think this last time I did it was, I went back to album's 60-year anniversaries, and I did 2 shout outs with little, you know, talking for 30 seconds or so about the details of the album for every video. So that was, what would that be, like 24 or 26 album shout outs for each video? And then I would do at least one spotlight album that I actually bought. So you can imagine that was so much work for me every month that I just had to completely put the brakes on it. But you might send me some VCLT? Oh, gosh. Ken. Well, we'll have to, we might have to make arrangements on that. Just remember, I will totally understand if you can't because of postage. Postage to the U.S. is just nuts. I do, you know, yeah, you are the one in the UK, so yes, you said that in your last comment. Anyway, what was I talking about? That's the trouble with live unscripted stuff, is you can't remember what you were talking about. Oh yeah, Backtracks. So yes, if I bring back Backtracks, I'm thinking of limiting my album shoutouts to maybe 7, you know, lucky 7 as the number, and they wouldn't necessarily be for specific set years. I would do, you know, whichever ones happen to be celebrating big anniversaries. They would still be anniversaries with 5-year increments, but yeah, just pick 7 really good ones and then do a spotlight album. That wouldn't be nearly as much work. And for those of you, I'm sure some of you out there have been missing Backtracks, so that would be a middle ground for, you know, kind of a what do you call it? Split the difference. way of bringing back backtracks. But as I said, I want to get my my geek stuff channel going sometime after the first of the year. So we'll see how that goes, where that goes. I should do a collab sometime. Yeah, maybe. I would be open to collaborating in some way. Oh, you missed backtracks? Thank you, Anna. Then maybe I'll have to put extra consideration into bringing that back. And the backtracks were actually the videos that I tended to get the most comments on. And then I shut it down. But well, as you know, there was a reason I had to shut it down. I was approaching burnout, and I don't want that to happen. So, but hopefully absence makes the heart grow fonder of backtracks. So we'll see. Ruffles potato chips. Yes, I may not be able to finish my lunch in the time allotted. I am working from home today, so I have 1 hour for lunch. So you know. But yeah, those were all the premeditated topics I had to talk about. Was the vacation related stuff. So yeah, what else is coming up? One of my most anticipated albums coming out in the next month or so is, don't laugh, Donny Osmond. Yes, if you haven't listened to his new song called Who, go listen to it. It's on YouTube. The video is on YouTube. For, Donny Osmond is in his 60s. I don't think he's in his 70s yet, but and for being, Mr. White and Nerdy, he was in Weird Al's White and Nerdy video. That song sounds so much better than it has any right to sound. That is a freaking amazing song. So I am so anxious for his new album. It's called Start Again. So, and he has such a great sense of humor about himself. I mean, to be totally willing to put himself up as, acting white and nerdy in a video called White and Nerdy. I mean, anybody who doesn't take themselves too seriously, I give an extra props to. So, but this song called Who, it's not tongue in cheek. I mean, he does it straightforwardly, and he pulls it off. I don't know how, but he pulls it off. It's a great song. One of the best pop songs I've heard all year. Totally serious. Only about 60 records in your vinyl collection? Yeah. That's not bad. I assume you've just started out collecting vinyl in the last, year or so? So if it's only been a year or so, that's a pretty good start to your collection. Yeah. It took me forever to really get into vinyl. And when I was preparing for the video that Noah and I collaborated with, that's on his channel, by the way, I'm going to put it in my Tom Elsewhere playlist on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't watched it yet, you'll have to watch it. He and I recapped I keep spitting food. He and I recapped our top 5 favorite albums of the first half of the year. And when I was preparing for that, I was making a list and figuring out which new release albums of the year I bought on CD and which ones I bought on LP. And actually, I keep saying I'm getting more into vinyl, but about 2/3 of what I bought this year in terms of new releases was on CD. I don't know why. And that is actually a video I'm going to be doing sometime fairly soon in the next month or so, is I'm going to be talking about, in case any of you have been wondering, what determines whether I buy a new release on CD or on LP. It's an interesting, it just got me to wondering, what factors do I weigh in whether, what format I buy it on. So I decided I'd make a video out of it. So keep an eye out for that video. Thanks for stopping by, Anna. It was fun. Oh, you started collecting in 2019? Oh, records aren't that common in your area? I always wanted to visit the UK, but I never have. I have probably a surprisingly large amount of albums by artists that are pretty well known in the UK, but are pretty much unknown here in the States, or were at some point some point or another well known in the UK. Mcfly is one of them. Although I haven't heard their new album yet. They put out a new album, their first album of just themselves in, 10 years probably? They've put out one collaborating with Busted, which was another punk pop group they called McBusted, and I had no interest in listening to that one. And now I begin the ASMR crunch of potato chips. That one's for Ryan. So yeah, oh gosh, I've got 20 minutes left to go. I've heard a lot about Sparks, but I've never checked out their music. And I think didn't they just have a documentary movie released about them? And I think, no, not Channel 33. I think it's Canadian Stud Muffin is a YouTube channel, and I think he's a big fan of Sparks, if I recall correctly. I've got a Spotify account, so I have no excuse for not listening to any recommendations out there. So, as I said, sometimes I'm a little slow on the uptake. A funny random trivia thing. The CDs that you see in this box over here, I'm trying to point to those CDs. Those are in my Discogs inventory, the ones that I'm selling in Discogs. Look for Tom Q Public under Discogs. That's my seller name, so see if there's anything you want in my inventory. But one of them that I think I've decided to pull out of my inventory and keep them for myself is the soundtrack from 90210, the revival in the 2010s, because it has Adele, Mute Math, which I'm kind of a fan of, not a huge fan of, but the All American Rejects, an exclusive song on here by All American Rejects, Parachute, which is another band I enjoyed, so I think I'm going to keep this one, even though I wasn't a fan of the TV show. So, but yeah, let's see, what else can we talk about? I don't have much random stuff sitting around that I can show you. Let's see, I'm trying not to be silent and sound like I'm ignoring you. I just went back and unlisted that 90210 just so that nobody else would try to buy it. Oh, hello, Samuel. I'm just wondering if that's an alias for a friend of. Long story about that I won't go into. Yeah, I might have to do a bookshelf tour at some point. Yeah, I've never shown anyone. I've done a tour of my record collection and of my CD collection. This was a few years ago. I think I need to do updates of those. But I've never done a tour of my music-related book collection. I should do that. Thanks for the idea, Samuel. Sorry, if Samuel is your real name, sorry, I'm not trying to make jokes about you, but it's just I'm kind of wondering if that might be an alias for somebody. But good to have you here, Samuel. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, my wish list is pretty big too. It's mostly a mental wish list, though. I don't have it on Discogs or any other source. But yeah, face it, there's always records we're all looking for, right? I don't think anybody, except the super rich or super wealthy, ever have completed their record or CD wish list. But yeah, hopefully one of these days. A few weeks ago, when I went to the thrift store for the first time, you saw my thrift store video. I've been wanting to go back to and hit all of the St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores in our area. So, one of these days. You love Star Trek. Then you will like my other channel once I get it up and running. It's going to be about, I am a huge Star Trek fan, so it's going to be about mainly Star Trek, but also other sci-fi, action adventure, and related genres. I've got, DVDs, as you can see back here, and a few books, not a lot of books, and some comic books related to Star Trek and etc. So. Neil Patrick Harris. Wow. That one with the blue band on it? Yep. Choose your own autobiography. I love his sense of humor. Gosh, we're less than 15 minutes away from the end of the video. Sad face. This has been fun. Thanks, guys, for making it so much fun. Trying not to let my actual eating overrun too much into my work time. So, pardon the moments of silence with awkward crunching. So, the weather has actually been very nice out here, despite the wildfires. This past week, temperatures have been mild, so that's been helping the firefighters. We still need rain, though. We need rain desperately here. The drought in Oregon is bad right now. Trying to think if there's anything else I can show you or talk about. Yes, this month's playlist video is going to be a CD special, as I was threatening in my vacation crawl and haul video. I'll try not to make two videos at the two consecutive playlist videos, all CD specials. I'll try to do them every other month, so the guys don't get too bored. Excuse me, but I'm going to have to do it that way in order to try and catch up on all this listening that I have. My own fault, I'll admit. See, have I read the book that Love, Simon is based on? No, I haven't, but I do own it somewhere. Oh, yeah, it's actually just to the left or right of my armrests here, the red spine book. That's it. One of a number of books on my bookshelf that I have bought but not yet read. I don't know why I'm not so much of a reader. I really should be. I'd like to be, if I can get myself into the habit of it. Favorite band of all time is Pink Floyd. I like Pink Floyd. I've been having a little trouble getting into them. I've been exploring at kind of a slow but steady pace over the last couple of years, Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin. And I've gotten much more easily gotten into Led Zeppelin than Pink Floyd. And it's probably because Pink Floyd's music is more psychedelic. It's a little more out there. Yeah, so. Oh gosh, what CDs do I have for sale? Mostly kind of weird stuff. Let's see. Oh, Miles Kane, who is an UK artist, I believe. Both of his CDs are on my Discogs. Andy Grammer's 2 most recent albums. Let's see. Oh, I still have the stuff that I sold, or is still in this view. So, Craig Chaquiso, who was the guitarist in some, I'm not sure, he was a guitarist in one band, a pretty noteworthy band, I think. Craig Chaquiso. Oh, from 74 to 91, he was the lead guitarist for the rock bands Jefferson Starship and Starship. So that's where he's from. 2 acoustic albums of his that he did back in the early 2000s. I've got Crowded House, a 2 CD plus DVD greatest hits package, their greatest hits on CD and DVD, plus their first album on CD, all in one package. I've got a couple of Debbie Gibson albums. These are all CDs, by the way. A CD by Tiesto. Let's see, Joan Osborne, Jonathan Brooke, who's a very good... oh, no, sorry, that one's sold. The Manhattan Transfer, good vocal jazz group. A K.D. Lang live album. James Morrison, his album Higher Than Here, which I liked his first 3 albums. That one just kind of shrank on me more quickly than I thought it would. A couple of Randall Bramblett CDs. He's a great Americana artist. The Stripes, I've got their 2nd and 3rd albums on there. I've got 2 of Tom Odell's CDs on there. They're only on my Discogs inventory because I bought them on LP. And so yeah, it's stuff that I didn't think was particularly exciting. Basically, it's the stuff that the stores around here wouldn't take for whatever reason. So it's like that was my only avenue to sell them was on Discogs. But some people I've had 34 or 35 purchases so far, and so about 40, 45 of my CDs have sold. So apparently I have some stuff that some people like. Let's see, what else can I talk about? I don't know. Oh, there's coincidentally right about the time that I took my vacation out to see Noah, 3 YouTubers that I watch pretty regularly, they all end up having a kind of a summit between themselves out at the place where one of them lives out in Idaho. Chris Profi, Musically Obsessed. I love watching his channel. And Aaron Mutha Alomar, as well as Jeff Witcher, Vinyl Destination. Yeah. So yeah, it was fun seeing all three of them together having fun. It kind of reminded me of all the fun I had with Noah. So, and they each did, joint videos, put, some of them on each of their channels, and they all had a lot of fun, it looked like. So yeah. They are all, I'm not sure if all three of them are in my favorite YouTubers channel list in my description or not. I'll have to check. But I know that Chris Profi is, and I'm pretty sure that Jeff Witcher is also. Go check out those videos. So sad to hear about, of course now I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the drummer for the Rolling Stones just passed away. The end of an era. And another end for another era. The second of the two Everly brothers passed away last week. So Everly Brothers is one of my favorite 50s pop groups of all time. Their harmonies, wonderful. Well, it's a good thing that this live stream is almost over, because I'm pretty much running out of things to talk about. I was hoping to do a taste test of these in the video live, but I won't have the time to because I haven't finished my chips yet. But chocolate sandwich cookies, they are from a company called Catalina Crunch. My brother is borderline diabetic, so he has to watch his carbs, and so Catalina Crunch puts out a line of low-carb cereals, but they also do these keto-friendly cookies. So if anybody who's on a keto diet but loves their Oreos can try these. So I haven't tried them before, so I'm going to try them for the first time for dessert for today's lunch. So sorry I wasn't able to do a live taste test. I suppose I could before I finish my chips, but the thing is, with lunch or dinner, as soon as I eat something sweet, I can't eat anything else, because it's the sweet thing signals my brain to say, okay, that's the last of what you're going to have for this meal. So, and I don't want the rest of these chips to go to waste. So that's my reasoning for that, and I'm sticking to it. In my opinion, that is unquestionably flawless logic. Spaghetti. How's that for an out-of-context word? No, spaghetti was one of the other home-cooked meals that Alyssa and Noah made for me. Was it just those three? The spaghetti, the risotto, and the stuffed pasta, spinach stuffed pasta. I thought there was something else, but maybe that was all. Maybe that was the only at-home, home-cooked dinners we had. Which I'm sure you are so relieved to get the answer to that question. It was just plaguing you, wasn't it? Well, guys, this has been so much fun. Yet again, having you guys participate in my live stream. A couple of new names in the list that hadn't been here before, so thank you guys for participating in it. So see, you were it was going to bug you till the end of time if I didn't have that answer for you, didn't I? So anyway, yes, it is actually, I still have a few minutes because I started a little bit early, so I've got a few more minutes. You know what, I'm going to overrun this a few minutes just so I can have one of these keto cookies. I apologize, but you're going to see me act like a complete pig and just shove food in my face for a few seconds. Sorry. Okay. All right. Cleanse the palate with water. That's about as snooty as I get. Let's cleanse the palate. Let's try one of these chocolate with vanilla cream filled keto crunch, I think they're called, cookies. They're good. They're really good, actually. They're so good, I'm glad I only took 2 of them, because I would be tempted to eat more. They're very good. They taste pretty much like... That's the phone, you can ignore it. I don't know about you, but we have been flooded with junk phone calls on our home phone. It's just ridiculous. Anyway. Yeah, they taste pretty much like an Oreo, but the cream filling is not as blatantly sugary as the cream filling on an Oreo, if that makes sense. It's got a little more of a vanilla flavor to it, but still very good. So yes, Keto Crunch cookies, and they have 2 or 3 different varieties. I think they have a peanut butter one, and they also have a vanilla cream, which is the same thing but with vanilla wafers instead of chocolate wafers. So. I'm not officially endorsing them or anything, by the way. I'm just putting out there they make good cookies. Well, excuse me. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to have to get back to work now, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. Those of you who tuned in, and for those of you who watch it on the replay, thank you for watching it on the replay. Love you guys. Thank you guys so much for making this live stream and just about every other live stream a lot of fun. Yes, I'm talking with my mouth full. Sorry. And I will see you guys later, maybe in about a month. As I said, once a month seems to be a good pace for these live streams. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love you. Take care. I hope you're all doing well and staying healthy. And I'll see you later.